Okay, hi everybody. What I'm going to do today is record a yoga influenced sequence of poses and stretches and routines geared towards the athlete. So if you're hardcore into any sport, so I had done a sequence for runners already, which is really popular, but not everybody's a runner. There are a lot of athletes out there, and a lot of times what happens if you're hardcore into a sport, you are full tunnel vision focused on that sport, and you're not getting a well-rounded workout or well-rounded fitness foundation. So what I have found to be very beneficial is to enhance your sport with other attributes of fitness. So it's not just about running faster and faster and faster. Well, maybe it is to you if you're a runner, or being stronger and stronger and stronger. But what I think has been found is that if you work on all aspects of fitness, they complement each other. They're all mutually beneficial. So you work on your balance, you work on your core, always strong back, strong abdominals to support the rest of the body. You work on your endurance, your cardiovascular fitness, and by improving each one, you become better at your sport. So what I wanted to do today was to give you quite a difficult series of yoga poses with a little bit of flowing in between, not a lot of flow, but a little bit of flow that enhances the other aspects of fitness to complement whatever your sport or your preferred sport is. So a lot of balance, a lot of core, and some sort of cardiovascular bursts, and then some nice long smooth stretching, because stretching of course is super important for maintaining long, healthy, toned muscles, strong, stable joints, and preventing injuries, which any athlete really wants to do to prevent an injury, right? So we're going to start in child's pose, a very common yoga pose. So you come to all fours with your abdominals engaged. I'll say abdominals engaged a gazillion times before the end of this class, because by engaging your abdominals, you are supporting your back all the time, and that's core work. And so we'll work our core throughout the whole class. So from all fours, ease your hips back. And this is child's pose. So you should be able to rest your forehead down on your mat. And that's a really nice way to stretch out through your lower back while relaxing through your head, neck, and shoulders. If you're more comfortable in child's pose, you can actually take your knees apart, feet are kind of together, and then ease the hips back from there. And then that allows the upper body to relax down further towards the mat. So some people are more comfortable in one pose than the other, and you choose which one you prefer. It's all about what works for you, okay? And throughout the whole class, please, if you need to modify, I will offer modifications. And if you need to modify because something is not right for your body, then the best thing to do is to go ahead and modify it. Over time, you might increase the strength or the stretch or whatever that element of fitness is, to the point where you can go further in that pose or in that position. But it takes time. So let's come from child's pose up to all fours. So let the knees come apart a little bit, and we're going to warm up the back. So as we know, as athletes, warming up is super important so that the muscles are ready for the hard work. So this is cat's cow. So we inhale, lift up the chest, reach the middle of the chest forward, and lift the hips up, so you get a little bit of arch in the back. And then exhale and round through your back. Tuck the tailbone under, tuck your chin under, and round your shoulders. And we do that a few times to warm up the back. So inhale, lift the chest, lift the hips, and exhale, round through the back. And inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, round through the back. So if you're a yogi and you like a little more movement in your poses, we can inhale and scoop forward, and exhale and round back. So you don't have to do it like this. You can stick with the regular cat's cow, but I know that some folks like to add a little more movement. So you choose what works for you. Inhale, scoop forward, Exhale, round back, or just stay in the middle and do the regular cat-cow. Okay, we're warming up through the back of the body, the back of the legs, the hips, and the actual back. Okay, one more time. Inhale, scoop forward, and exhale, roll or just round back. Okay, coming back to all fours with the abdominals engaged. We're going to tuck the toes under. Tummies in nice and tight. Just lift the knees so they can inch off the floor. Okay, so to do that, you realize you have to have those abdominals engaged. So we just pause here as a reminder. Make sure those abdominals are engaged. And then we go ahead and lift up through the hips. See the legs start to straighten. And sink those heels down in another classic yoga pose, our downward facing dog. Now, if your hamstrings are super tight, because this is early in the class, you can go ahead and pedal the feet out. So bend one knee after the other, and sink one heel down towards the floor after the other. So that's lengthening through the back of the legs, warming up the hamstrings. Super important to warm up the hamstrings, because when you're in a sport, and you use very cold muscles, of course you risk injury. So warming up is super, super important. So this is a nice way to pedal out the legs and warm up through the hamstrings, the back of the legs. So let's try sinking both heels down towards the mat and then pressing both heels up. So the hips stay lifted, you're still in this downward facing dog position. Sink both heels down and lift both heels up. And one more time, sink both heels down, abdominals engaged, and lift both heels up. So we're going to work through the abdominals a bit more by adding a twist to this downward facing dog. So we're going to bend both knees and twist both knees to the right side while your left hip drops down. And then we come back to the middle, sink the heels down in our down dog, and then twist to the other side. So the knees point to the left, and your right hip drops down towards the mat. And then sink down in downward facing dog. So we do that a few times. Twist to the right. Really drop that left hip down, and you should feel a stretch through the right side of the torso. And sink back into the down dog. And now twist to the left. So we're working with the twist. Anytime you do twist through the torso, you are focusing on your oblique muscles. That's the side abdominals. So sink the heels down again. One more time each side. Twist to the right. So try and lift the knees up as you sink that left heel down, left hip down, but keep your right hand on the mat. And you should really feel that stretch through the side body. Okay, and last time, twist the knees to the left. Try and lift those knees up and drop the right hip down. Good, and come back to your down dog. So we're going to bring the knees back down into a tabletop position. Abdominals engaged. We're going to lift the right arm and the left leg. So a lot of the time when we hold poses in yoga, we focus on the breath and we think about lengthening through the body. So create length wherever you can. So reach the right hand as long as you can, as far forward as you can. Lift the left leg and point the toes and make that left leg as long as you can. So as much space as possible between your right hand and your left foot. Abdominals engaged, and bring that hand down. So you'll see, change sides, that you really have to be engaging through the abs and the back to hold this position, okay? It might look a little pansy, but you actually have to be working to hold it for any length of time. Okay, so let's bring that down. We're gonna flow from one side to the other. So right arm, left leg lifts, and come on down. Left arm, right leg, and come on down. So adding some work for the glutes, and of course through the back, okay, and through the obliques and through the abdominals. So remembering, of course, that our core is not just abdominal work, it's back strength and stretching as well. So to keep healthy muscles, it's not just about their strength, it's about their flexibility and about how supple they are, and keeping them healthy at the joints as well. So let's hold the right hand again, left arm, hold and breathe for 3 breaths. So inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Good, and change sides. So left arm lifts, right leg lifts. And let's do that one more time. Lift and hold So right arm, left leg. If you're a yogi and you want to take that into more of a stretch, tiger pose. So you reach back and grab your left foot with your right hand and lift up. So think about lifting up, because if you think about lifting to the side, you might topple over. So by adding this to making it into a tiger pose, you're adding a nice stretch through the quads on that left side and opening up through the shoulder on your right. Good, so let's release that side down and then lift left arm, right leg, and either hold it here, working on the abdominals and the back lengthening and strengthening, or reach back and grab that foot and lift up for tiger pose. So stretching the right quads now and opening up through the left shoulder. Good, let's release and bring that side down. So from all fours, we're gonna get a little bit of a cardio burst here now. We're gonna lift the, toes tuck under, lift the knees up off the mat, 1 inch. Abdominals in nice and tight. We are gonna jump into a squat, lift the arms, so a squat. So you're sitting down, the legs are wide. Bring the hands back down, jump back to your lifted all fours. Abdominals have to be engaged to do that little jump. Okay, so let's do that a few times. So you jump back to your lifted all fours. So jump up, squat, lift the arms, jump back. So abdominals engaged. If that jump is way too much for you, you can step, step, and lift, okay? But work on adding in that hop to get the heart rate up for a few minutes, okay? So lift and down. So if you're super fit and you get the hang of this in no time at all, you can add weights here. So you could have little 5-pound weights to be lifting up when you bring the arms up. Okay, one more time. Hop up. Good, and hop back to our all fours. And now straighten the legs out into a plank pose. Good. So plank can be on your knees if you're a bit of a beginner, okay? And you need to take it a little bit easier, or you're already tired out, plank can come down on your knees, okay? Or full plank. And from there, we're gonna bring opposite knee to opposite elbow, twisting plank. So I think we all know by now that plank is a serious core move. So we'll do lots of plank variations to really target the abdominals and strengthen through the back. Okay, so all this time twisting, opposite knee to elbow for some serious oblique work. Let's have 4 more, and 3, and 2, and last one. Come back to plank, lift the hips up, sink the heels down into down dog. We're gonna bend through the knees and either step or jump up to the hands. Fingertips on the mat or on your shins. Inhale and lift halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Now with the knees a little bit bent, let's inhale, come on up to standing. And we're gonna do a few sun salutations. So exhale, swan dive forward, giving you a chance to catch your breath. Inhale, lift the chest and breathe in. Exhale, step back or jump back to a plank. Knees, chest and chin or a lowered plank. And inhale up to a little cobra. So this is cobra. So you're opening up the chest. Your shoulders are not by your ears. They're back and down by your shoulder blades. Okay? Pressing the sternum forward to open up through the front of the body. Then we release a bit, tug the toes under, press back up to plank, lift up the hips to down dog and sink those heels. Bend through the knees and step or jump into the hands. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold. So inhale, up to standing. Exhale, swan dive forward. So even the athletes can do this little flow. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step or jump back to plank. Now knees, chest and chin like before, or with the elbows close into the body, lowered plank, cobra like before, or up dog. So with up dog, you see the thighs are off the mat. Same, lifting the sternum up, reaching the sternum forward, shoulders are back and down, opening up through the front of the body. Now you can lift straight back up to down dog, or you can add a little push up for a little extra strength, and then come back to down dog. Bend through the knees and step or jump into the hands. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward, stretching the back of the legs. Inhale, come on up to standing. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step or jump back to plank. Knees, chest and chin or lower plank. Elbows in close is different to a traditional push-up. Cobra or up dog. Lower plank push-up, or just meet me in down dog. That little push-up there is a little extra work, because I know athletes like a little extra work. Bend through the knees and step or jump into the hands. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold. Let's do this one more time. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Exaggerate your breathing. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step or jump back to plank. Knees, chest and chin or lower plank. Cobra or up dog. Lower plank push up and meet me in down dog. Bend through the knees and step or jump into the hands. And inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to inhale to stand and stay standing here. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, release the arms. So we're going to take it into a sort of modified flamingo pose. So we're going to lift up the left knee and hug it into the chest. So standing up nice and tall, going through a little balance sequence now. So anybody who is in a sport where they need to make sort of sudden bursts of movement and they depend on their balance to catch a ball or hit a ball or what have you, you really need to work on your balance outside of the sport as well. Okay, so we're lifting the knee up, hugging it into the chest. If you can either stay holding on to the shin, or you can, with your first two fingers and thumb of your left hand, grab your big toe. Tummy's in nice and tight to help your balance. And if you can, gaze at a spot that is not moving in front of you. And if you can extend that leg, go ahead and extend that leg. It does not have to be straight. The action is just extending it, okay? So if it is bent here, that's fine. If you're holding onto your shin, that's also fine. Okay, right hand wherever you need it. It can be on your waist or reaching out to the side. If this left hip lifts up, try and bring it back down. Good. So from there, we're going to open up this left leg to the side. Open up your right arm to the side and continue gazing forward. Good. And then nice and slowly bring that leg back in front. Tummy's in nice and tight. We're going to release the foot. If you were holding the foot, release the foot, but keep that leg lifted. Reach both arms up by your ears, biceps by your ears. And lift, 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 lift that leg. Good. Now release that leg. Don't touch it down though. Reach back with your left hand and grab your left foot. And then we're gently going to fold forward in dancer pose. So you're lifting your left leg up. As with tiger pose, think about lifting up rather than to the side. And also, with all balances, try and find a spot in front of you that's not moving that you can focus on. Good. So lift, 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 lift. Fold forward a bit more if you can. And then release, hug that left knee back into the chest in our flamingo pose. Good. Now, keeping that left leg lifted, release the hands. We're going to bend our standing knee. Place the hands on the floor. Hop back to a plank. Hop back in and come to stand. So what does that look like? That looked like a burpee, right? One-legged burpee. So here we go. Let's do some more. Step back or hop back in. All the time keeping that left leg lifted. Abdominals engaged. The abdominals have to be engaged. That's where the hop comes from. And that's how you stay balanced. Okay. Just coming up to standing. Let's do 3 more of these one-legged burpees. Trying to stay balanced all the time. If you get wobbly, slow it down. If you fall, That's fine. Just bring it back in. Make it part of the dance, as they say. Okay, last one here. Inhale up. And exhale, release that leg. Good, shake it out. So same thing on the other side. Let's bring the right leg in to the chest. Standing up nice and tall, getting acquainted with the balance on this side first. Remembering that we're different on each side, right? So you might be more stable here, or you might be more wobbly. Okay, so grabbing your right toe with your first two fingers and thumbs of your right hand, or holding on to shin wherever you happen to reach. Okay, and extend that leg wherever it can extend to. So adding a deep, deep hamstring stretch to this balancing pose. All right, abdominals engaged, chest is lifted. Standing nice and tall. Okay, whatever you have to do with this left hand. It can be on your hip, reached out to the side, helps with balance. Okay, and then when you're ready, this tree is in my way, but we're gonna open up the right leg to the right side, open up your left arm to the left. So wide chest. Remember, if that right hip lifted, try and let it sink back down. Good. And then bring it back straight in front. Tummy's in nice and tight, lift, lift, lift. And then you're gonna let go of that toe or leg, wherever you were holding. Let go, reach the arms up, biceps by the ears. Keep lifting through that right leg. Is your quadricep burning? It's probably burning now. Lift, 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 lift. And release the leg, but don't let the toe touch down. Grab your right foot with your right hand. Lift that foot up. As you gently fold forward, reach the left arm long. Lift the right leg up in dancer pose. So balance and a lovely quad stretch all at the same time. And then slowly come back in to our standing balance. Hug that right knee in. Oh, the toe went down. Hug that right knee in. Lift, lift, lift. Release the hands. Bend your standing leg. Hands come to the mat. Hop back. Hop in. Come on up to standing. Our one-legged burpees. Let's go. Let's have 8 more. If the toe touches down, just hop it back up quickly and carry on. So working on our balance, always working on our core. I mean, we have the core engaged for the entire class here. And getting a little cardio action with these little burpees. One-leg burpees. I lost count. Let's do 4 more. And 3. If you want to get sassy, you can kick that leg out. 2. And last one. And kick it out. Good, let that foot go down. Let's inhale, sun salute. Exhale, swan dive forward, catch the breath. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step or jump back to plank. Knees, chest and chin or lower plank. Cobra or up dog. Lower plank push up and down dog. Bend through the knees, step or jump into the hands. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, step or jump back to plank. Knees, chest and chin or lower plank. Cobra or up dog. Lower plank push up and let's hold it in down dog. We're going to drive the right leg up into the air in a dog splits. Doesn't matter how high that right leg goes. Keep the hips square to the mat for now. So squeezing through the glute, pushing the heel away from you. We're going to go from dog splits to plank crunch. So you come into a plank and you squeeze that knee in towards your nose. And we're going to go do that a few times. So dog splits, plank crunch. Dog splits, plank crunch. Dog splits, plank crunch. This time, crunch the right knee into your right elbow. Dog splits. Right knee into your left elbow. Dog splits. Right knee into your right elbow. dog splits. Into your left elbow, dog splits. Last time, plank crunch. Squeeze it into your nose. Touch your nose with your knee. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And step that right foot forward into a lunge. Good, we're gonna lower the back heel towards the mat. We're gonna inhale up to a warrior one, but we're not gonna stay there. We're gonna open up into a warrior two. Okay, so just a quick reminder in warrior two, your bent knee is over your heel or behind it, not out over your toe, because that's way too much pressure on your knee. Your shoulders are stacked above your hips, not this way or that way. Shoulders back and down, stacked over your hips. Tummy in nice and tight. That right knee is open, so you could look down and you can see your big toe at least. Okay? And arms reaching long and strong. Let's have a big breath in here. I'm gonna just shimmy on my mat so I don't go out of view. But from our warrior two, we're gonna turn to the right side and we're gonna reach both arms forward as we lift our left leg, and that is warrior three or balancing warrior. We're gonna bend our standing knee, come back to our warrior two, and then reach over to the left side, keeping your top shoulder lifted in a peaceful warrior. Back to warrior two, we're gonna flow through that. Slowly step up into your balancing warrior for a couple of breaths. Abdominals engaged, back leg lifts, 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 lifts. Lower the back leg down, arms wide into warrior two. Turn your left palm up, right arm reaches up and over, back to warrior two. Turn to your right. Slowly step up, lifting your back leg into your balancing warrior. Abdominals have to be engaged. You would have realized that by now. Back leg lowers down, back into your warrior two, left palm up, and slowly reach over to reverse warrior. Last time, warrior two, turn to your right, step up slowly, or one big step or a few small ones, whatever works, into your warrior three, squeeze through that left glute, slowly back to warrior two, left palm up, and over to your reverse or peaceful warrior. Then you're gonna windmill the arms, come on back down to a lunge. So lift that back heel up so that you're in a normal lunge. Step back to plank with the abdominals engaged. Knees, chest and chin, or lowered plank, cobra or up dog. Lower plank push up and down dog. Send those heels, left leg lifts in dog splits. So hips square to the mat. Doesn't matter how high that left leg goes. Okay, come forward to plank and crunch that left knee in. Dog splits, plank crunch, nice and controlled. Dog splits, plank crunch. Dog splits, plank crunch. Dog splits, plank crunch. Next time round, we're gonna add the obliques. Dog splits, left knee to left elbow. Dog splits. Left knee to right elbow, dog splits. Left knee to left elbow, dog splits. And to the right elbow, dog splits. Last time, plank crunch. Squeeze the left knee in, squeeze, 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 squeeze to the nose. And step that left foot forward. Good, ground the back heel down to the floor, perpendicular to the front. We're gonna inhale, passing on through warrior one, opening up to our warrior two. So shoulders stacked over the hips, abdominals are in nice and tight, chest is lifted, shoulders are back and down away from the ears, lunging into your left knee. So your left knee is over your ankle or behind it, but not out over your toes. Okay, so big breath in, we're going through our warrior three, reverse warrior flow. So turn to your left, reaching those hands forward with one big step or a few little steps, reach up to your warrior three. So lifting the right leg, reaching that right leg long, tummy's in nice and tight. Coming on back down to your warrior two, flip your right palm up, reach your left arm over to peaceful warrior. So see how the chest stays open for peaceful warrior. Okay, back to warrior two. Turn to your left, reach your arms forward. Little steps up or one big step. If the balance in warrior three is getting to you, you can try opening your arms wide. That helps. Okay, but once you have that balance down pat, go ahead and reach the arms forward. Okay, step down into your warrior two. Right palm up over to peaceful warrior. Warrior two, turn to your left. One little step or one big step up to your warrior three. Tummy's in nice and tight. Try and have the shoulders, the chest, facing directly down in warrior three. And step back to warrior two, right palm up, peaceful warrior. Last time, warrior two. Turn to your left, reach those arms forward. Right leg lifts and reaches long. Squeeze through the glutes, squeeze through the abdominals. Lift, 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 lift. Step back to warrior two. And peaceful warrior. Cartwheel the hands down into your lunge. Sorry, I'm just going to switch sides. So back to your lunge, the left foot is in front. Step back to plank. Knees, chest and chin or lowered plank. Cobra or up dog. Lower plank push up or just meet me in down dog. We're going to shift forward to plank. Anytime you need a rest, rest in child's pose. The one we did at the very beginning. So from plank, we're going to roll onto the right hand and the outside of the right foot. Open up the left arm inside balancing plank. And then we're going to come back through plank in the middle. Roll onto our left hand, outside of the left foot, stack the top leg on top. Open up into side plank on the left. And we're going to roll through it. So plank in the middle, right side plank. Plank in the middle, left side plank. So nice and slow and controlled. And think about your abdominals as you do this. And when you super focus on your abs here, you might realize that you are working, you're feeling the abdominals, the obliques work in your side plank, lift up through the hips. Your middle abdominals work in a regular plank. And then the other obliques work on the other side, and the other side plank, lift up through the hips. So try and get that side body as far away from the floor as you can. So lift, 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 lift. Okay, last time on the right side. And if you're feeling sassy, there's always somewhere more to go. You can lift that top leg. You can grab the foot. But wherever you are, keep lifting your right side body away from the mat. Good. And slowly through the middle to your left side. Last time on the left. Okay, you might be able to try something different here as well. You can try lifting that right leg and driving it up, 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 up. And back to the center into your regular plank. Knees, chest and chin or lower plank. Cobra or up dog. Lower plank push up or just meet me in down dog. And bend through the knees. You're going to step or jump through the hands into a seated position. Okay, so just going to move my book so I don't kick it. And we are going to take it into a reverse plank. So we just did a normal plank. So a reverse plank, stretch the legs long, lift the body off the mat. So you're looking for a straight line running from your toes up through your hips to your shoulders. So try not to let the bum drop down. Okay, drive the hips up. Really working through the back body and lengthening through the front body. Good, lower those hips down. Inhale, reach the arms up long. And exhale, forward fold. So it does not matter how far you get in this forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, wherever you are. And exhale, reach the chest forward. So rather than thinking about reaching the forehead to the legs, think about reaching your chest forward. So inhale, open up through the chest. And exhale, forward fold a bit more. And again, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, and forward fold. So we're going to do the reverse plank again, except that we are going to add some leg lifts to it. So reach your hands back behind you, abdominals engaged, lift the body up. Okay, so press down through your right heel, and lift the left leg, and then change sides. So it's very hard. Okay, you're really working everything. And it really feels like you're working everything. Okay, press the left heel up, lift up the right leg. Right heel presses down, lift up the left leg. Good. You should really feel this in your lower abs. Very difficult to target the lower abs. And one more time each side. Right leg lifts and left leg lifts. And sit down. So you're going to scooch forward. We're going to hold on to the back of the thighs and slowly roll it down onto the mat. We're going to bring our hands behind our ears, lightly touching, and we're going to bicycle crunch. Okay? So keeping the legs low, so just like maybe a foot off the ground. Abdominals have to be engaged. Okay, knee to opposite elbow. Nice and strong, really, really squeezing those abs. That's one of those things about abdominal exercises. One, you need to switch them up regularly so that your body is constantly having to get used to something new. And the other thing is you really have to focus on those muscles as you're doing the exercise. So really pull in the abdominals as you're working them. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. Reach the legs up to the ceiling. Reach your hands up, lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. And reach those fingertips to the toes. Can they touch? Reach, 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 reach. Good. Release the arms. Lower, like parallel with the mat. And lower the legs like 30 degrees. Abdominals in nice and tight. Neck and shoulders are lifted if you can. Lower the legs another 30 degrees. Strong legs. Push the heels away. And then lower them to like 1 inch off the mat. But lift, 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 lift. And then back up to the ceiling. And reach, 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 reach. Reach, reach, reach. Okay, arms come down. Make fists if you need to. Drop the legs 30 degrees, abdominals engaged. Heels are pushing away. Draw them another 30 degrees. And drop them 1 inch off the floor, but lift, 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 lift. And then release everything down to the mat. And I hope you felt that, because I sure did. All right, let's stretch the body long. So reach the fingertips away over the head. Point your toes and make the body longer than it's ever been. Tummy's in nice and tight. Breathe in. And then exhale and relax. And then one more time. Inhale and lengthen. And exhale and relax. Let's bring the knees into the chest. This is like a reclined child's pose. Really nice, relaxing, nurturing pose. Okay, we're just going to stretch out the back before we end. So let the arms come to your side. You're going to cross your left leg over your right. Abdominals engaged. Tummy's in nice and tight as you lower both legs down to your left side. You can let your left hand rest on them. Let your right shoulder release back down to the floor and head drop over to the right. So a nice stretch for the obliques that worked so hard. Good. Now before you come back up, uncross the legs so they come up one at a time. And then cross your right over your legs. Right leg over your left. Tummy's engaged, nice and tight as you lower the legs slowly down to your right side this time. You can let your right hand rest on those legs. Left shoulder releases back down towards the mat. Left arm is long. Head drops over to the left. And release back to center, uncross those legs, give them one more hug in to the chest, and then release them down. Let your legs relax on the floor, let your arms relax on the floor, and just take a moment with your eyes closed to just give the body a chance to acclimate to all that hard work that it just did. So that was really a full body workout with lots of different fitness elements that really would enhance any sort of athlete or anybody interested in a particular sport. Remember, all the different elements of fitness are really mutually beneficial. So thank you for joining me, and namaste.